And let's talk about the impact potential that we have on land. We have Fox Weather Storm Specialist Mike Seidel joining us from Folly Beach, South Carolina, not too far from Charleston. We're taking a look at Folly Beach there at the pier, at least, where the rain looked like it maybe was falling. I don't know, Mike. I mean, how's it looking from your perspective there at the beach?
It is raining just a little bit. It just started a few minutes ago. We're at the pier. We've been here for several days, and there's not much difference this morning, except we do have some rain. Now, we had a few showers Saturday afternoon. Yesterday was gorgeous. Not much sun, but there was a breeze, and it was cloudy, and there was a pretty decent Sunday crowd out here at Folly. There's the surf, and it has come up a little bit. We're still not getting much of the swell from Humberto. I did check the buoys offshore. Edisto, that buoy is about 45 or so miles offshore. Their highest wave height reported this morning at 6.2 feet. So that's where we stand offshore. Onshore, we're talking 4-footers. And also notice the sharp edge to the cloud right out here. It is raining very, very hard. I don't know if you can discern it on live TV, but with the naked eye, you can see the shaft coming down and the visibility dropping off just to the left of the end of the pier. A couple surfers out this morning. Let me show you the surfers from yesterday. It was a good day for surfing, despite the wave heights not being cranked up yet. 3 to 4 footers, and we had a couple of guys and gals I caught on tape on the pier taking these waves for, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds, and then getting back out there. So that's what you deal with. You take what you can get in life, right? And there's some surfers out this morning. Not as many as over the weekend. Obviously, some of these folks actually have to head to work on a Monday morning. Speaking of that, schools are open. They didn't do anything with the schools, which is probably the right move as far as rainfall. Now, the track is going to take it the closest approach later on tonight and early Tuesday morning. I calculated using the latitude longitude from here and the forecast point at 2 a.m. Tuesday morning. The center, now this is the center, at 367 miles from Folly Beach. That is a long way off. Remember, it has increased. Yesterday morning, the distance based on the 5 a.m. forecast was about 265 miles. So it is now going to be 50% farther away. Instead of 260-ish, now about 360-ish. And that means the impacts are even less and really impacts the rainfall. Look at that rainfall forecast. Less than a half an inch we expect in Charleston. Now, with that said, if a heavier shower or squall gets in over your rain gauge, you may have a bit more, but certainly way down. And remember, I want to emphasize last week when the American model, the GFS, and the European were bringing this in as a landfall and a slow mover. Some of the forecasts were 15, 20, 25 inches of rain. So this is a big change, and this is what we need. Also, because it's going to be so far offshore and pulling away, storm surge is off the table. Overwash pretty much off the table here. We'll have some beach erosion. In fact, we have some beach hazards, rip currents today. In the statement. That'll likely be reissued tomorrow, but also certainly the high surf, and that goes until Saturday morning at 8 a.m. So we're going to have high surf issues all week long because of Imelda and Humberto's waves coming at us. So if you're coming down to the beach, even though the sun is going to be back out tomorrow and the rest of the week, it's going to be very fallish here because of that wind, drier air, and highs will be generally 75 to 80, so good beach weather. But the rip currents will be, I think, still a factor. Remember, these beaches now are unguarded this time of the year, so swim with a friend. Or my suggestion for the next several days at least, don't go in past your ankles because you can get caught in a rip current. So Marissa, it all turned out pretty good here and up and down the East Coast. The only real issue we're going to have is, again, Cape Hatteras, south of the bridge, Buxton and Ocracoke Island. There could be some overwash there at time of high tide over the next couple of days, but those areas are so susceptible anytime you have an onshore wind.
Yeah, I was going to say that, they're very vulnerable to that onshore wind, so monitoring those. But to your point, dodging another one here. And then I think as we watch the evolution into Wednesday, as you noted, so the dew points even into Wednesday are going to drop down to the 50s. So by the time we get to October 1st, Mike, it's going to feel a lot like fall, but staying out of the water, very important to note there. All right, Fox Weather Storm Specialist Mike Seidel joining us out of Folly Beach, South Carolina. Thanks, Mike.